brought to you by IWCRadio.com. It's the internet's most irreverent wrestling podcast. Now, please welcome Beans, Smoot, Chucks, and Will. This is the IWC.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again, once again, to the IWC Radio podcast show. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are here, as always, this time with Chucks, Beans, and Will, getting ready to discuss everything after Fastlane today. How are you guys doing?
Hello. I'm just.
All right, Beans is here, everybody.
One, I was distracted that my phone made a noise when I just turned it off from making noise, so that worked really well. And secondly, yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I just took a thing of Mountain Dew just then, and I thought I timed it well, but I did not. I'm okay. It's another day for me. Another day, unfortunately, not another dollar. Like most days for me. How are you guys doing, Chucks and Will?
Not too bad. It was another day, and being a Saturday, also not another dollar. 0 dimes.
0 dimes. I think it's frowned upon if you reference him in any capacity now.
Already. Nothing at all.
Not loud.
Yeah. Well, there's only one word to describe that.
Hang on a minute, like, whoa. I know that Will likes to name all these shows, like, and include Beans for some reason now. Why Beans Battle Royal?
It's topical.
That is topical. And we'll get to that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The Beans Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Snickers.
Yeah. It's got beans in it, and it's always something related to the week's news.
Yeah, before we get into that, should we address something that happened to both Will and Chucks on Twitter?
Yeah, we can do, because we're going to start off with Fastlane results, I guess, and it did happen on during Fastlane, on Fastlane Sunday. I don't know if you want to go first, because yours is actually the next day on.
You're on Raw. Yeah,
it's a little shorter than mine.
What the hell have you guys been doing?
Minding our own business.
I dared to ask the question.
Yeah.
Well, chronologically, they were weird.
Chronologically.
You were first, so.
I was first, but I feel like I'm just gonna rant because, okay, the last hour of Fastlane, maybe a little more, I spent not so much watching the show as having about 8 simultaneous arguments with people who could not understand a word I was saying.
I'm still siding with these people at this moment.
So, okay, the first one came from it's all about Jimmy Corderas. He's started everything. Former WWE referee, and who I thought good guy, right?
I'm gonna say I'm still like on Jimmy's side here, and I have no idea what's happened.
See, I was too, right up until. So I used to listen to him and Arda on their right after wrestling show, and it was what was it? Afterburn.
Aftermath.
Yeah.
It was an after something. So they had a good podcast, good fun. I enjoyed them a lot. Then Jimmy Corderas, he showed up on Twitter for a while, actually answered questions from fans, so I always respect that. Anyone who's in such a secretive business, but is still willing to actually talk to people and answer a few questions, they're always cool in my book. I asked him a few things. I had a couple of little conversations with him here and there. Always a nice guy. He used to tweet some pretty funny stuff, little like one-liners and all that. So he's like a good guy to follow. Then I stopped watching Raw live a couple of years ago. Stopped tweeting so much because of that. And then I come back recently. He says, okay, so it all started on the Sunday. He said he replied to someone who was talking about Rusev getting cheered. He is a heel. He does heel stuff, but people just really like him. He's one of the most popular guys on either show right now. Jimmy said, maybe the fans are the ones who don't know the difference between what heels and faces do. Cough button. And I just thought that's unnecessarily aggressive, I guess. Kind of like the fans are at fault for responding favorably to Rusev or something. That we don't know the difference between a bad guy. Like, really? Between a bad guy and a good guy, we don't know the difference. Mm-hmm. So I responded, fans are the ones who know what they like. He may be a heel, but he's entertaining. It's hard not to like him. And actually already people are jumping on. So by that thinking fans shouldn't like him, he's getting the opposite. Blah, 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 blah. Oh man, I'm really choked up over here. Off button again. Oh man, it just goes on and on and on. He was responding with, where's Jimmy's himself? Twitter's such a pain to navigate.
It is.
Oh,
yeah.
so he in English insult fans, and you find that not being heels. So that's in response to a tweet where I said Rusev is booked on the heel side of things. You find that not being heels. No, I said I know they're heels, but they are not making fans hate them. They're too funny. And then it got into a big conversation about how he said that fans go to the show, they want to be insulted. And I said, I don't think they want to be. They just don't mind if they are. Because we get it these days. We know what wrestling is. We know what a heel is. And someone saying your sports team lost this week isn't really enough to make anyone hate them anymore, if it ever was. Especially not if you do it in a funny and entertaining way.
Right.
Or if you show some kind of talent, like Aiden English is a good singer, or at least a decent singer. Rusev is a funny guy, great delivery on some of his lines. You can insult me, and I'll take it at face value. And
it's kind of like with Elias, where he asks who wants to walk with Elias, and then he sings a song and insults the town that he's in.
Yeah.
And then people boo for a short period of time, and then everybody's cheering him.
Right.
Gotcha. Continue.
So, no, that's fine. That's exactly my point.
Right.
We get it. We're in on it to some degree. We understand. It's not personal. We're not going to take it personally. Then I just hate the way Twitter, because replies, it all branches out and you can't just see a thread as it is. It's such a pain.
Yeah.
Someone else then replied saying,
hold on.
Surely it's something along the lines of, so why aren't fans upset that other fans aren't responding to Rusev the right way or something like that? And I'm like, why would anyone care about that? Well, they care about Reigns getting booed when he should be cheered. Oh my God, now it's gone on to Roman Reigns. Right? I didn't bring up Roman Reigns. And this is where it all got out of control. So I said, no one hates Reigns because he's a babyface. They hate him because he's been chosen as our hero for us. And then I shouldn't have said the word chosen, because then even more people jumped in saying, I think you'll find every top guy in history has been chosen for you. Shinsuke Nakamura was chosen to win the Rumble. Like, oh God, here we go. Like 5 minutes into what would become an hour plus arguing constantly during this pay-per-view. I didn't mean chosen as in being booked to win. Obviously, I don't mean that. I understand someone chooses the winners. What I'm saying is that someone chose Reigns to be the top guy. Someone saw him before we did as fans, before the fan base did, and said, that's the guy. That's my point. Chosen in that respect. Not chosen to win a match, not chosen to main event WrestleMania. I understand booking, but chosen to be. Oh my God, on and on and on and on. I think you can find Rock and oh yeah, here we go. Jimmy Corderas. Newsflash: every top face is chosen for you. Usually not before we get a chance to say we like this guy. Reigns was chosen before he ever made TV. Rock and Austin were chosen doing nothing gimmicks. Rock and Austin were doing nothing gimmicks when they were chosen for us. Vince saw those guys, pushed them as the ringmaster and Rocky Maivia. Then they changed things. Then the fans responded. Then they were chosen to be top guys. Am I crazy?
No.
Because I feel like I'm losing it.
I've got to be honest. I've tried to follow all this, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I know.
I think when Roman Reigns was brought up, you lost the plot.
I did. I think I did. It's right. Okay. So here, because it wasn't me that brought up Roman Reigns.
I know.
Okay, I got to throw that out there.
Yeah.
But I did respond, and I shouldn't have. I took the bait.
You did.
I said, a top guy is usually not chosen before we, the fans, get a chance to say that we like him. Mm-hmm. Reigns was chosen before he ever made TV. Jimmy Corderas then said before he made TV, couldn't be more wrong. He was the guy coming out of the Shield. Even to the Enlightened, he was the guy. So that's his new thing, the Enlightened. And I don't know what it means exactly. Possibly Wrestling Observer subscribers, but I don't really know. So I responded, okay, why was he in the Shield? Why was he protected while in the Shield? When the Shield split, it was Ambrose who got the most support. When he was winning the Rumble, it was Ambrose, Ziggler, and even Rusev who got the reactions. What constitutes being the guy? More and more and more. I'm not saying anything about the Enlightened or Reigns being cheered. I don't know what the Enlightened thing is. When Reigns won, it wasn't anyone but this guy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right, okay. He then said, why was he in the Shield? Somebody saw something in him. Said, that's exactly my point. Someone saw something in him and was convinced by it before any fan even got to see him. So this is the nature of this thing. All of this, again, I'm talking to at least 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll through your feed here.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I've tried to read and listen at the same time, which is a real big mistake.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any simple way to explain how crazy it all got. But I had Jimmy Corderas basically calling me an idiot, calling me enlightened, and constantly saying you can't be more wrong about things.
Do you know what? I'm still siding with Jimmy on this.
Well, okay, right. So I was saying ratings are going down. Okay, they just are. Every year we get reports that it's the worst Raw rating in history, or at least, close to it, one of the 5 worst, especially during football season. And he says, you might want to check your facts again. Can you give me what? Jericho does this too sometimes when he does one of his vignettes, he's coming back soon, and we'll go, oh, that looks like Jericho's coming back, and he'll say, I'm not coming back. You guys are crazy. I don't know where you're getting this from. And then it turns out he's coming back. It's so frustrating. So I said, instead of just saying that I'm wrong, can you tell me what's right? Or instead of just telling me to go and look at the figures again, can you tell me what figures I should be looking at? Because then merchandise got brought in. Roman Reigns makes money. I say maybe someone else could make more money if given the chance. Maybe.
This all started with a comment about Rusev.
Yeah, Rusev being cheered.
Yeah, this all spiraled into a massive hole of.
Okay, here we go. So I've looked at the things. During football season, they hit record lows shockingly regularly. Blah, blah, blah. He says, go and look and stop parroting enlightened rhetoric.
Oh, my God.
I said, I'm happy to be proven wrong if you have any points to make. just saying you're wrong, look again doesn't help. He then, oh man, where is it? Here we go. Man, I can't find it. Somewhere he crosses the line. He totally crosses the line and tells me, stop trying to get listeners for your podcast.
He does.
Nice.
It's like, holy shit, how am I getting all of this? Because I didn't bring up Reigns. I didn't bring up my podcast. I didn't bring up being enlightened. Then some other guy jumps in and says, what do you know? Have you ever even wrestled a match?
Oh,
How
wow.
does that mean anything?
Hang on a minute. Didn't you say in all this that, like, out of the two of you, like, Chuck's only had a small thing?
No.
No, mine's quite small. But...
Oh, right. Okay. Thank God.
Yeah, Will's was relatively small. This other guy jumps in and says over and over and over and over, you don't know better than Jimmy, who's been in the business 30 years, and he said that he was in the business for 20 years. Like, I'm not saying I know better than anyone. I'm saying I'm a fan. I've only ever said that I'm a fan. Right? That I've got the view of a fan, and this is the way I see things. Well, you don't know better than someone who's been in the business.
Universe, I think you'll find.
Right, exactly. I also made the mistake of saying we, as in people who boo Reigns or don't like Reigns where he is. Someone said, what do you mean we? You don't talk for me. I'm not saying I talk for you. I'm saying I talk for people who agree with me. Oh, God. And
Anyway, Chucks, how was Fastlane?
No, it gets better. It gets even better. So this guy says he's been in the business for 20 years. I say, okay, what have you been doing in the business for 20 years? He says, you don't know better than me. I've been in the business for 20 years. I say, okay, I never said I did. By the way, what have you been doing in the business for 20 years? He says, you keep saying that you know better than everyone. You haven't even wrestled a match. I've been in the business for 20 years. Like, back and forth, he would not answer the question. Until one day he says, I say one day, one of these tweets he says, I've been wrestling for 20 years, 10 of those full time. Google would be your friend. Right? So
Wow.
I then did Google his name and got his is it cage match profile or something? It says he's wrestled about 100 matches in the last 20 years. And he's definitely not been full time. If this is accurate, he has not been full time for 10 years.
I pulled up the tweet there of him saying, "Stop trying to get listeners to the podcast."
Oh my God! How the hell did you make Jimmy Cordero say "shut the fuck up" already? Like, Jimmy's like the most chilled out guy I can think I've met.
He's not. He is absolutely
He's
not.
really
Not
not.
anymore, anyway.
No.
Yeah. So I didn't I've been on the internet a long time. I've been in this business for 20 years. I've been on the internet for 20 years. I know that as soon as you do one of these ad hominem, like if you say that someone's an idiot, all your credibility just goes. So I never said that anyone was. I never tried to say that I knew any better than anyone else. You know, there's certain things that you just can't afford to do because otherwise you just get written off.
Yeah.
Constantly saying that I'm saying things that I'm not saying, calling me an idiot, calling me enlightened, whatever. This guy then says you don't know better than someone who's been in the business, even though he doesn't seem to be that big in the business himself. And the next day they were still coming through, people trying to have their little... And then I get accused of trolling. Obviously, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just trolling. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've made, although my recap here hasn't been great, I made some okay points. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't deliberately try and annoy anyone. I asked for citations. I asked for clarification, but I didn't say anything that was unnecessarily like incendiary. I just put across a view that maybe Reigns isn't the guy, and that's about it. And apparently you can't do that. And like you say, Beans, Jimmy Cordero, he was always a really fun guy to talk to. Always had insightful things to say, or at least funny things to say. I don't know what's happened to him. And then the next day, I tag in Will.
Yeah, I'll get to Will in just a second. I like that these two people are just like judging on this like screenshot here on the monitor. I like that they're just like kind of silently reacting in an artful way here from how it looks like. But yeah, no, Will's was much better.
To be honest, I think they're disgusted with Chuck's.
Mine was just crazy.
Yeah, this is great.
Try and keep it brief. Basically, we all know about the news that. By the way, I've got a really bad cough, so I might have to hit the cough button a few times.
That's fine.
We all know the news about Kid Rock going into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So during Raw, they showed the video of hyping Kid Rock and all that. So I think we'll all agree that we think it's a bit of a shame that Kid Rock's going in and Jim Johnston isn't.
Yes.
So I thought, I've seen Jimmy Corderas mention something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he mentioned something about the Hall of Fame. So I asked him, and the exact tweet was, "What's your opinion on Kid Rock going into the Hall of Fame when a guy like Jim Johnston likely never will?"
Oh, how could you? How could you, Will? That's a disgusting thing to say.
Yeah, you're just trolling.
So
you are clearly trolling.
I am clearly. His reply was, "It's called the celebrity." This is Corderas himself. "It's called the celebrity ring, not the employee ring. Other than that, people get bent out of shape over really nothing like this." And retweeted my original tweet. So my response was, "By that token, half the Hall of Fame shouldn't be in there as they were employees. I'm not bent out of shape. I just think a guy that made such an impact on the business deserves recognition." Things got a little bit crazy when MVP got involved.
This is my favourite bit of the whole thing.
I spoke to MVP and I thought he were alright as well. Please don't tell me that you peed him off as well.
MVP says, "Who's this in response to? Apparently I'm blocked from seeing their tweets."
I remembered why he was blocked, by the way. He supports Man United and he was tweeting over Man United.
You blocked MVP!
Yeah, I did.
I have no idea why you were blocked, and you've just said on a public podcast that it's because he's a fucking United fan.
At the time, I couldn't remember why, but I remembered later on.
To be fair, if you spoke to him now and he understands that you're a Liverpool fan, I think he would understand.
Yeah.
Can you follow on the thread here between Corderas and MVP? Because they go back and forth. Basically, MVP says, "I don't know, I can't see who this is." Jimmy Cordero says, like, "Some guy." And MVP says, "Oh, I don't know who he is." Like, you're on Twitter. This is a place mostly consisting of just guys, just people.
Yeah.
Why would you expect to know who Will is? It's unbelievable. He just jumped in out of nowhere.
Yeah, I couldn't. So I kind of ignored that for a bit. Corderas come back with something about being offended, and I said I never said I was offended. I just wondered why it's happening. What did he say? If this wasn't such a big deal, why are you still harping on about it? Plus, I don't recall asking you. Sorry, what?
Whoa.
Right?
Smoot, can you pull this up? Like,
Yeah. Oop, there we go. Sorry, wrong slide there. There we are. There we go. Yeah, now it's on the screen. I think that's the correct one. Twitter is hard to navigate. I'm sorry, it can't.
Yeah.
no.
It's terrible.
Why you still hard on it? Plus, don't recall asking.
So then this carried on for a bit. What did he say next?
He said, "Well, you said it's become relevant, and he didn't ask you, but you asked him.
Yeah,
That's why you're talking. Like, he didn't just come to you out of nowhere. Obviously, you asked him what you think."
And then it was like it kind of died down for a bit, and then I realised about 20 minutes later, he tweeted himself but hadn't put me in the tweet and put.
That's right.
Why do I get tweets from guys whose Twitter profile says professional idiot? Now, that's been in my Twitter bio for about 3-4 years, and it's obviously sarcasm.
Right.
Obviously a joke. So I said, it's a joke, Jimmy, a little bit of fun, you should try it sometime, you might like it. And then he said, well, being a professional idiot, that would be stealing your gimmick, and since everything goes over your head, yeah.
Wow.
What I do here is fun. So I told him to get over himself, but you know. And then the best bit was, oh no, sorry. Then some random guy got involved and said, "Jesus Christ, I was seeing top shelf wrestling before you were born. 1987 birth means you missed everything before 2000, most likely, and you have no clue how wrestling works. Your tweets verify that."
I like that it's in caps as well.
Yeah, caps. Yeah, he's very good at capitalising all the important bits.
Yeah, missed everything. Verify.
Side note: I tweeted him asking him who he was, and he hasn't answered me yet. So.
Yeah.
Also, born 1987, most likely missed everything before 2000.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was going to go into that with him, but he hasn't got back to me yet. So.
I mean, that's actually true of me. I got into wrestling relatively late. I was 13 at SummerSlam 2000.
1987. 1987.
But, yeah, 1987. But most people, I think, Smoot, you're about the same age as us, right? And
Yeah.
Beans is considerably older, but still.
Look, both of you are already in enough trouble here, so don't you don't
But I
want
don't
another
think
Twitter spout.
It's not unusual to watch wrestling before you're 13.
Mm.
That's a strange point to make.
So I was actually up quite late, and I was in work the next day, so the whole argument kind of kept me up late. So how did?
I just saw this. I didn't see this happen on Raw. Apparently, he called you a wanker.
Yeah, that was the best bit.
Not miserable wanker. Actually, I'm quite happy. Unlike yourself, as useless as rubber lips on a woodpecker.
Hang on a minute. Whoa.
Basically, I said, right, I'm going to bed. That's enough arguing with miserable former WWE employees for one day.
I had MVP.
I want MVP. And that was but I didn't tweet. I didn't tag him in the tweet. So he obviously been looking at me tweets.
That's a vanity search, yeah.
Man,
And then,
that's another thing that he was getting pissed off. Yeah, he called you a wanker. He was getting so pissed with me as well because I don't know Twitter anymore. All of these other people jumping into the conversation I had with Jimmy was also replying to him.
Mm.
So the more I was arguing with other people on stupid tangents, he was getting all the messages.
Yeah.
So I got at least 3 or 4 messages from him saying, "Untag me. For fuck's sake, untag me. Please untag me."
Yeah.
So I didn't even know I could do that. I'm trying every tweet that comes in, trying to take him off, and they keep putting it back in. It's not me. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. I just thought we were coming on to talk about a pay-per-view.
I mean, that
Right.
that was something that happened during the pay-per-view and Raw.
I mean, sweet Lord.
So that happened.
That happened. And in his defense, I guess, I'm sure he gets questions like Will's quite a lot. What do you think about this guy going in the Hall of Fame? I know a lot of people do. And the right answer is, I think, it's the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Anyone could go in. Hogan goes in, that makes sense. Austin goes in, that makes sense. Donald Trump goes in. I don't really get that one, but okay, whatever. It's the WWE Hall of Fame. But he could have just said, yeah, Jim Johnston, huge impact on the business. Would be nice to see him get some recognition. Right? That's a normal response.
Yeah.
Not why are you getting so pissed for? Check out this miserable wanker over here, triggered.
It really sounds like, I don't know, either Jimmy really has changed or you just really caught him on a bad day.
Well, I thought that, but then it was
Yeah.
the same the next day. when Will and what a coincidence that both of us.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Beans. I'm like, just asking him something during SmackDown. Go for the trifecta, you know?
I'm going to say I'll randomly get a message off him where he's just sending me abuse because of what you've done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one positive from all of this is that he does know now that we have a podcast.
That's true.
So maybe he's listening.
That's true. Maybe he'll
Hey, Jim.
Well, he really does seem to have a good memory, because I always said when I met him in Miami and I went over and Arda introduced me and went, "Hey, it's Martin," and he walked over and he went, "Oh, beans on toast." So it was like, holy shit.
Wow.
So yeah, now if he's been looking,
Beans, you gotta do damage control. You gotta do damage control.
I'm on a hit list, I think, now.
It's crazy because I'd always had like good interactions with him before. I'd always like asked him okay questions. He was fine answering them. We seemed to have some kind of understanding. If I got a little bit smarky and said something, it was like, you're on Twitter. Of course, people are gonna read some news and stuff. It was always fine. Now we're enlightened, I guess. So
I'm waiting for him to pop into the chat and just be like, "You talking shit?"
I'm trying not to. I tried so hard not to.
Oh, hey, it's the British wankers.
Oh man.
Oh dear. Well, that's not good.
Should we get into the prediction game?
Yeah, and also just a hello to a hell of a lot of people in our chat, which is nice. Who are listening to us all pissing off the entire wrestling community by the side of it.
I mean, usually it's me that does that, but apparently Chucks and Will just with innocuous questions can just set up a firestorm.
There's a part of me that wants to send Jimmy a question.
Please, no.
Ask him like a normal question and see how long it takes for him to get pissed with you. Ask him like about his favorite WrestleMania. No, not think so.
5 per 10 pounds. 5 per 10 pounds will say that he'll probably call Beans a knob. In some way or another.
Don't say that. I get really upset.
As I said on Twitter. Go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, we've got a good number of people in the chat, and none of them is Ed.
That's true, yeah. He must be busy.
It's all right. Bradley's now saying that he's just about to ask him something on Twitter, so we're causing all kinds of problems now.
See, they were nice to Jimmy.
Don't troll the referee.
Yeah, don't troll the ref. Don't do that.
He's a nice guy, or was.
He wasn't nice to us.
No, he wasn't, but he
called me a wanker.
There's Will's soundbite forever.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that on a shirt. Jimmy called me a wanker.
That's true, there you go. Print it.
As I said on Twitter, I always preferred Tim White anyway.
Yeah, I highlighted that. Oh, man.
Yeah, well done. It's about time you lot did something to piss people off, though.
Oh, man, that's never my intent.
No, it was never mine, but it happened to me once. But that was... To be fair, I was being a bit more of a dick than you guys were.
It was just Tim. Did you offend?
Lagana.
Oh yeah, Dave Lagana.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I was only being jokey, but I could understand, and especially seeing as every comment I've made for the last 40 tweets before it were just me being sarcastic as fuck.
We'll have to get our own sort of alternate Hall of Fame. Got Lagana in there.
To be fair, didn't Smoot once put a list up of all the people that blocked him?
Yes.
It was like a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The Hall of Lame.
Lame.
Burn. Brad, ages ago in the chat, said he found out the hard way not to start an argument on Twitter. I didn't start it. I tried just to ask a question and respond, trying to defend fans. He said that fans don't know the difference between good and bad. And I said, we know what we like. That's it. That's my crime.
Also,
I've never heard more fighting words in my life.
I know, right?
Also, Danny/Otaku, piss off.
Oh, here we go again. No, come on.
Oh,
Come
great!
on.
Now he's pissing off the fan base. For fuck's sake!
Look what he said in the chat. Anyway.
Will's long-awaited heel turn.
I think you missed his obvious sarcasm, just in the same way that Jimmy may have missed yours. Oh, dear.
So next time you're on the internet, don't assume that people are saying things that they're not saying. Respond to the words, not what you think the words mean. Everyone, please, can we?
This sounds like a Bray Wyatt promo. I'm confused.
No, it's not Bray. I have this argument with my wife all the time. I'm saying the things that I mean to say. Just because they make you feel a certain way, that doesn't mean I'm trying to make you feel that way.
For it is you, Matt Hardy.
It sounds like something else. It doesn't mean it means something else.
For it is you, Matt Hardy, that will be deleted.
Right.
Anyway.
It wasn't even
next week on the show. Next week on the show, Jimmy Corderas joined us.
Oh my god.
You know, that would be kind of cool.
It kind of would be.
It would be nice to have him on.
Oh god, Bradley has sent a message to Jimmy on Twitter. Oh god.
That's it now, Bradley. You're done for now.
Yep.
That's it. Within 3 tweets, you'll be called an enlightened moron or something.
I am so tempted to send him one, and just if he just like sends a nice reply, and then that's it.
Well, he remembers you, right?
Yeah.
He's met you twice now, so he probably would be nice to you.
Yeah.
I doubt it. He's probably forgot me by now. It's many years.
All right. Let's get into the.
Oh god, has Otaku really sent that?
I don't think. It's not wrong, man.
Anyway,
Despite all of that, I still think he's a nice guy. I remember him being a nice guy, so I don't want anything bad happening to him.
No, I don't wish ill on the guy, but you know.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
call me a wanker.
let's get into the prediction game here.
Yeah,
please.
Let's do that.
Wow.
So
how's your week been, Smoot?
I'm all right. Compared to what we just recapped, I'm okay.
You didn't do anything to like.
God.
Christ.
You didn't do anything to piss off Teddy Long, or
no. Ironically, he's one of the people that blocked me because I criticized a Raw main event being a tag team match that one time.
He blocked you.
Yeah.
We found
What, by Teddy Long?
By Teddy Long, yeah.
You were drinking that hate raid.
Oh my god.
I think we found our new regular segment. Which former WWE superstar are we pissed off this week?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for Todd Grisham this week.
No.
I reckon you could do that pretty easy. And Josh Matthews, I think, would be a real easy one.
I've already blocked him.
Oh, you've blocked him?
Yeah. Right.
I did the most vicious thing I could do, and that was unfollow him.
Oh,
you nasty
bastard. Even I haven't done that.
I know.
Right, Fastlane.
Fastlane, let's do some results. Okay. God, where do we start with? Oh, so there was a pre-show match that we didn't predict.
Hang on, have you not got some papers to rustle?
Actually, no. I'm already on the page.
In between all like the bullets that you've got, what you're loading into your weapons on the side.
I'm gonna shoot myself, I think. Here we go.
Oh shit!
There you go. Token paper wrestling for you.
Look, I know he said about is there anything that you'll do to get to listen to the podcast, but please do not commit suicide live on YouTube.
Tim White did that. Nice link.
Leave that to Logan Paul.
Wow.
He did. That was text this. Right. So there was a pre-show match, a 6-man tag that we didn't know about because they didn't announce it until, I don't even know. Did they announce it before it happened? I don't know.
Were they announcing it? No, I think it just got happened.
Just kind of happened.
What, as opposed to announcing it after it happened?
Well, yeah, there's that.
Fair point.
Mm.
Not
Got to be
announcing
clearer
it all,
with your
like-
words, Chucks. This is what gets you into trouble.
I think I don't remember exactly what I said, but I'm pretty sure it was factually correct. It may have been stupid, but it wasn't wrong. So
Beans.
Breezango tagged with Ty Dillinger, and they beat Shad Gable and Shell and Benjamin and Mojo Rawley. So I'm sure Beans is happy about that.
We didn't
Yeah,
make
no.
predictions for this, did we?
No, we didn't know it was
No,
going to happen
we
because they
didn't
didn't
know.
announce it before it happened, or in fact after it happened.
Sorry. So I'm supposed to be happy about this.
That Mojo lost.
Oh yeah.
Have you forgotten that you hate him?
No, I just forgot he was in the match. Although it was a long week for me. It took me 3 days to watch Fastlane.
He's kind of a forgettable heel, honestly.
I just remember watching in complete horror as he did his usual. I'm gonna beat the shit out of the entranceway for my theme music, and was just like, oh. I didn't actually mind like the backstage segment that they did to build this on the pre-show.
Yeah.
And he was wearing like one of them like, I don't know, like Under Armour kind of like tight workout tops, you know, like what The Rock normally wears.
Okay.
And I thought, do you know, he actually looks, because he's a tall guy, he's well, you know, he's a big frame. He looks all right there. And then when he comes out and he's
The
wearing
hell's
his
going
little
on?
yellow shorts, he's got a belly that like has a talking belly button.
What? What kind of observation is that?
The same observation as what Baron Corbin has.
Oh, did someone just open a...
I did.
Can.
Kind of audio whoop-ass. There you go.
I'm popping pills, me.
All right. So yeah, we haven't had a chance to predict the pre-show match. It's like they announced it during the pre-show itself. Like, oh yeah, these 6 guys are going at it. Let's throw it to ringside.
Right, so pre-show was nothing for us. That's fine. I would have gone for the faces. So I'm going to give myself a point for that.
Excuse me.
What? I would have got it right. So I think that counts.
No, it doesn't look. You're just like panicking now. So come on.
Yeah, that's not true. So we opened the show with Rusev. I like that guy, even though I shouldn't. But
Oh,
you
God,
know, I'm
this
just
is
a fan.
bringing
I don't,
flashbacks, isn't it?
I don't know the difference between what I'm supposed to like and not. Nakamura beat Rusev on Rusev Day of all days, and we all got a point. I went for Nakamura, Beans went for Nakamura, Will went for Nakamura, Smoot went for Nakamura flat out.
Yeah.
In fact, it was Rusev who was flat out with a knee to face.
I enjoyed this. Thought it was a good match.
I enjoyed
that
it. I didn't like that Rusev lost.
Mm.
On Rusev Day.
Really?
Yeah, but
On Rusev Day.
you didn't really expect the guy who's supposed to be in the main event of Mania losing on the pay-per-view beforehand.
Right, no. Sorry, excuse me.
Obviously
Oh,
not, because you predicted Nakamura.
Exactly. I wanted Rusev to not be booked against the guy who's going on to WrestleMania to face AJ Styles.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that's my main gripe of that. So we all get a point.
Yeah, we all get a point.
Does
Rusev
it mean
was,
it's now Nakamura Day?
Yeah.
I guess so.
If you're going to say Nakamura Day, I think you need to sing it like he did.
Yeah.
Go on,
But
Rob.
then again, you can't just make up your own holiday, bro. According to Rusev.
I love how he
I've
couldn't
embarrassed
keep his
myself a lot
face.
on the internet this week.
I love how he couldn't keep his face straight when he said that line. What's next?
What's next is Randy Orton and Bobby Roode. Okay, this went on for 20 minutes and it was dull.
Yeah,
It was really, really dull.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it were going to be, though, which is a bit weird.
Really thought it was going to be worse than this.
I don't know. I don't remember hating the match or being. I think it's because I knew how much was on the line.
For the prediction
Nothing.
game, yeah.
Oh, prediction game,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, sure. The thing,
I think-
the US title. that's
Like
nothing.
I said, this was really the main event for me. So
Nobody,
Yeah, for all of us,
Yeah,
and we all flopped it.
Yeah.
no, we didn't.
Yeah, we
You-
did.
You predicted Orton by DQ, Beans.
Oh, you cannot do that.
I can.
No.
I can, and
He
I
won,
picked-
but he didn't win by DQ.
Fuck off. We've all made predictions in
Whoa.
the past where we've said that, like, you know, I
No,
think
we
that this
haven't.
is going to happen and this is going to happen, or it'll be a DQ or it'll be a count out or whatever. But whenever we got the person right, we get the point.
Not if you clarify that it will be a DQ.
Yeah.
I
You could say-
said I'm picking Orton and I think it'll probably by DQ.
Yeah, so I put it down by Orton
yeah.
by DQ.
Uh-huh. Because with title matches, DQs are important, right?
Yeah.
Because if you win by DQ, the other guy retains.
Bradley said it in the chat. He spoke and Beans gets the point.
Bradley's not playing, that's the thing.
Look, you're not screwing me out of a point just because I'm on the ultimate combat trail.
I even said, like, you're going with the DQ on this last week. And you're like, yeah.
It's true.
I did. I remember.
When do we pick between pins and submissions then?
Whatever you just say, the person
Don't,
wins.
Because that's
Yeah.
that's not a thing.
You're so shy at this.
This is how it's always been. This is sticking to precedent.
No.
If you had said Orton,
Yeah.
and Orton had won by DQ, that would have been
Right,
fine.
well, in future then, I'll
You-
just
you
end up saying who I think's going to win, whether
Yeah.
it's by DQ or whatever.
You specifically,
fine, but keep in
stated
mind-
by DQ.
Yeah,
This is
But it's-
bullshit.
because it's a title match and DQ
This is
actually
absolutely bullshit. You were making another enemy. I'm loading up Twitter.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
point there, I'm afraid. But then none of us did get a point.
No, I'm not having this.
No, you're not having it. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Rude didn't win. He didn't win by disqualification. No points for anybody.
No points. Nil point.
I want a recount on all previous pay-per-views when this has happened.
What a recount.
I do.
This is not like you're acting like this is a screw job. It's not a screw job. You specifically stated.
Mhm.
I want to at least hear the audio from last week where the predictions was made.
All right.
Well,
I think
fortunately, you can do that.
yeah.
They're all on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I demand it to be played now, even though I won't be able to hear it.
I think yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think we can pull that up though.
Oh, don't! But no.
But
Come on.
keep going. You guys keep going. I'll try to. I'll try to find a way to do it on the stream here. Since this is a highly contested
Now is
point.
not the time for that.
It's not, but just go
Bradley
ahead.
has said in the chat, as Bean said, you don't have to predict how they win. It gives him a handicap.
It's been said. You don't have to. Well, you do if it matters, because quite often what happens is I think that a guy will retain, but I kind of think the other guy will win.
Yeah, but there's been instances where you've picked because of that, but you've ended up getting a point because you said the person that would win.
Wait, what? No,
What's happening?
if you had, God damn it, what we're doing is right, based on how we've always played the game.
No.
This isn't a change to anything.
In the past, you have had a point for picking someone who's won, who you thought would win it properly, but won it by DQ.
That's true. If you just say the name and they win by DQ, that's fine.
But you said that they'll win the title, and they haven't. They've won it by DQ. But you still have the point.
Generals
because
match,
they've won the match.
Generals match the specifics, not the other way around.
Yeah, if I said that they'll win the title and they don't, but they win by DQ, that's fine.
Yeah.
Bradley's just said, I think by memory, this came up during New Day's long title reign.
Probably did.
Probably did, yeah.
But you'll have got points.
Not if I had done what you did.
Yeah.
It's always annoying, I get ya. But
no! No, I'm not having this.
Well, you have a week. If by next week you can find any example of when we've done it another way.
I found the spot from last week's show.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jesus.
I don't know if I can... Oh, man, I don't know if I can play
We're not going to be able to hear it anyway, are we?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if... I mean, we could play it. We could play the audio for the people tuned in. Because I'm pretty sure I even asked. I was like, you want to go with DQ? You're going with DQ on this.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was going to be the... Oh, for fuck's sake.
It was on the screen, Beans.
Yeah, because that's just like...
That was really high-pitched.
That's probably because I'm getting stressed.
How far into the show was it, Rick?
56 minutes, 10 seconds.
My God. This has become like a fucking thing now, hasn't it?
You started it.
Yeah.
God, this will be the longest show.
I would just love it if the shoe was on the other foot. It's just funny how I'm the only one that fucking predicted Orton and I'm losing a point.
To be fair, if I would have gone with, like, Rude by DQ or something like that, I would have lost a point or something. Or Orton by DQ.
I did go for Rude by DQ and I lost.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah, because he didn't fucking win.
Okay. So next up, both of those guys are very good. They're weird. They're weird wrestlers because I know they're good. Their matches are never bad. But if they weren't around, I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They add nothing. As fine as they are, it's just there's nothing to it. And Jinder as well. I don't even really hate Jinder. I don't like him. I'm pretty much Jinder neutral. But just this whole thing.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Oh.
Have you found the clip?
No, what you just said. Ginger neutral.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Why are you more gender fluid? Change week to week.
I think you should be doctor point for that.
I agree on this situation.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you're gonna screw me by one, I'll.
Well, you can screw me by winning next time.
I did. I picked Orton.
Okay, so Carmella and Natalya beat Becky Lynch and Naomi. That was weird. We all predicted the faces to win. But no.
Yeah, no points for this one either.
No points.
Notice how I'm not arguing this one.
Yeah, because you didn't pick anybody to win by DQ.
Whereas in the other one, for fuck's sake, never mind. Anyway.
Oh, well, great. We got through a match with no arguments. That's awesome.
There's a pretty poor match as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of losing points, the Usos and the New Day went to a no contest. So Smoot is the only one of us.
Hey! How's it going? Hello, Point.
So me and Beans thought the run-in would come during the US title match, but actually it was here. The Bludgeon Brothers came out and did some bludgeoning.
Yeah.
And there was no contest.
I think it was kind of
Xavier Woods got a what was it?
spinal contusion.
Spinal contusion.
Yeah.
I would like to challenge Smoot's point for no contest.
Why? Because I specifically called it as a no contest.
I think that they actually announced it as a double disqualification.
No. Look on Wikipedia. It says no contest.
It does say no contest, but I will look up the WWE website.
It's cited.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's cited.
It's always okay. You're always allowed to call for referee verification. So here we go.
Bradley's now defending you, Smoot. I am aware that he was totally right on this. I'm just being an awkward arsehole.
I think it's going to be the actual difference maker for the show overall. Where I finally win one.
Wouldn't be if I actually fucking got my point. Anyway.
Oh my god.
The official ruling, the long-awaited rivalry renewing clash between the Usos and the New Day ended in indecisive fashion when the Bludgeon Brothers came calling and put a brutal end to what had been shaping up to be among the most unpredictable of the instant classics between your boys and the Day One twin. That's a really long sentence.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually state no contest in any of that.
It says it ended in indecisive fashion.
Indecisive
that's
fashion.
not a no contest.
Yeah, it is.
That's an indecisive fashion end.
Whoa. Right at the end here, it bears mentioning that, because of the Bludgeon Brothers' interference, the title match itself ended in a no contest.
Yes.
Yes.
Give me that point. It's official.
So there you go. It's official.
Any other challenge flags you like to throw out there, Beans?
No, I'll do a few more in a bit, don't worry.
Charlotte beat Ruby Riott.
You don't say.
Just...
You don't say.
No, I do. And this is where we all got back on track. Everyone voted for Charlotte. It's unsurprising, I think. But there you go. Okay, so then the six-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. AJ, who earlier in the night was told he had a 0% chance of winning, actually won. AJ retained. The title match with Nakamura is still on.
Mathematically incorrect.
Yeah. John Cena still has no road to WrestleMania. He
at this
sat
point,
moping in the corner and pushed the camera away when it tried
yeah.
to get close up on him.
Oh, what the hell? Why is the highlight red? I don't know if I can. Well, I can probably show this on the stream here. But yeah, there it is, real quick, just to show it. WWE.com, Fastlane. Here's mentioning that because of Bludgeon Brothers' interference, title match ended in a no contest, as Chuck said. There you go.
Oh, I didn't need you to pull it up on the bloody screen.
I was not making it up. Just to clarify. So, if no one has anything else to add about the last two matches there,
I think we all saw this coming, considering that we all predicted AJ Styles.
That's true.
And I think Corbin and Zayn, or no, Corbin and Ziggler are going to probably be in the pre-show battle royal, and Zayn and Owens, for some reason, are still going to continue their feud with Shane McMahon.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So at the end of this one, 6 matches predicted, and in second place is me, Beans, and Will, all on 3. Smoot, unbelievably, thanks to that no contest, scored a 4th point and wins the show.
Damn right I did. Hell yeah.
Well, there's still that one.
I'm still like 15 behind.
Overall, we have predicted 118. Smoot is on 63. Will 71, Bean 76, and me 78. So it is still really close. And the WrestleMania card that we have so far is already pretty big, and there's still some more to add. So there's a lot of points going.
Yeah.
Chuck, just to let you know that you will have so much of a Twitter argument off me.
Oh God.
If I lose this prediction game by that
By
point.
1 point. Yeah.
I
At that point, I
kinda,
think we'll have to then do some research and dig up some old cases of this happening, because I'm sure it's happened before.
I mean, maybe. We'll have to
I
check
will
the sheets.
I will get my analysis hat on.
But one thing that is correct is that I won. One
It's
point
true.
or not from Beans, I still won. Okay.
Well, we would have both won if.
Well,
if
you
my
did.
point then.
You didn't. For right now, you didn't. Okay. If you can find some weird loophole to overturn
Absolutely.
that one match, then you can join me. But for right now, you didn't win. I won. Me.
Congratulations, Smoot.
Thank you. I need this.
I need another.
I don't have
I need
kids,
another
I need
road to
this.
WrestleMania now.
I don't have kids. I need this.
I have no more options left. I need a new road to WrestleMania now.
God.
Looking through all the old prediction games that I've got in this
Oh my
book,
god, I
and
forgot his book.
I have the book. It's all written here on paper, and I've got no other cases going back quite a way of us doing DQ predictions, which is weird because I think we do that fairly often.
T-Dub says...
Because I think normally it would just get wrote on the prediction that you predict in the person, no matter how the result goes. Because
I
we
think-
just normally talk about how we think things will go
we
down.
had to have like some kind of a specifics rule at some point that if you
It's
went with-
definitely happened.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty
Doing this
sure
a
there
long
was a
time.
rule established that if you go with something a specific way, then, that specific outcome has to happen.
Hmm.
At least that's what I thought.
And we do it because of the title thing.
Yeah.
Because I always
I
end up
wanted
thinking that Rude has to retain, but it seems to be time for Orton to win.
I wanted to do it for the additional point, but according to Chuck, that somehow devalues the whole prediction game.
It does. It's got to just be on the matches. If you start adding other stuff, then it's,
And that is
Wow.
correct, T-Dub. I have to have like a perfect card for WrestleMania and everybody else to screw up.
Yeah, all we need to do to make sure that Smoot doesn't win this prediction game is just predict Roman Reigns.
Yeah, oh, that, yeah.
Well, when it gets to it not next week, was it? It's a couple of weeks. It's not long now. I don't know if maybe if I give all of my predictions first, and then you guys can choose to go other ways, or because otherwise I could just predict exactly the same as Beans and hold him off that way. Seems a bit unfair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's do it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
All right.
I did enjoy the main event though. I just realised that I
No
never
one get
actually
that
spoke
reference?
about.
No, I got your reference.
Oh, good.
I'm familiar with it.
How long was the main event?
I
The main
feel,
event
I feel like not long at
was-
all.
Yeah, it was 22 minutes.
Yeah, did seem to be quite quick fire. It was. I mean,
Orton-
it
Orton
started
versus
with.
Rude was 20, 19. Nakamura Rusev was 15. Charlotte, Ruby Riott was 14. So there's, that's where the time was.
Yeah.
Also, Randy Orton, now US champion, has
Grand
now
Slam.
won every title that's available to him, except the Universal. I don't know why we don't bring that up.
He's now a
he
Grand
is
Slam
now-
winner.
Now he's won the US title. He's well on his way to a Hall of Fame career.
Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't going to get in before that.
Yeah, apparently not.
It just means it gets brought forward a few years.
Yeah.
Or maybe it gets put back a few years. I don't know.
Weird one about Randy Orton. He's been around forever and he's still, what was he, 37, 38 this year? Relatively young for someone who's been around as long as he has.
Yeah, because it was that thing on Survivor Series, weren't you, like the youngest member of his team or something?
Like 03. Yeah.
No, I mean like this year when he had the
this year.
team this year, he was actually the youngest guy on the bloody team that he was on.
That's true, because he was in there with like Nakamura and was
Cena,
yeah.
Triple H was in there,
Triple H, was it Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle was in there.
Were they on that same team?
No, they were on the same team, I don't think. Oh, AJ
No,
Styles.
they could've been.
Younger than AJ. And was it Kevin Owens or something like that? I think they're similar age, aren't they? Oh, Kevin Owens is a bit younger, I think.
Okay, I can find out for you. So Shane McMahon,
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Roode, Nakamura, Cena. And then it was Angle, Strowman, Finn Balor. Again, he's like 30, is he late 30s? Samoa Joe, yeah, Triple H. So he actually is one of the youngest on the team. And Bobby Roode. So this was Orton winning the belt is Bobby Roode putting over the young guy. The up-and-coming young Randy Orton. Bobby Roode's 40. Randy Orton 30.
Does anyone
38.
else have a problem as well with Dolph Ziggler calling AJ Styles kid?
Not really. But
No. Just like Jericho used to call people junior.
Yeah, but I'm sure he used to say that to people who weren't, like, older than him.
true.
He said it to everyone, didn't he? I don't know.
Or if Jericho did, Jericho was obviously playing his stupid character whilst he was doing it.
It's just an insult. Just a kind of dismissive way of kid.
When are they going to get rid of Dolph Ziggler's theme music and that horrendous record scratch?
Actually, at the pay-per-view, it was actually very well fitting because it interrupted something else.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Honestly.
you've just put that on the stream.
Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm not even going there.
What's wrong?
I wonder what all this clickety-clackety was in the background. He's up to
Sorry.
something, and the next minute that pops up.
You missed off wanker.
Don't give him ideas.
Oh.
Dear me. I've lost my train of thought now.
Do we move on to Raw? Did anything happen on Raw that we?
Yeah,
need to get to?
John Cena found his road to WrestleMania again.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to go to WrestleMania as a fan, and he's going to chant for Roman Reigns.
Not to open up the argument that you had online with someone this week, but with the announcement of Kid Rock being inducted into the Celebrity Hall of Fame, and during the video where they made... Will, you're confusing. Jim wouldn't go in the celebrity wing. But during the video when they made the announcement,
I know what you're gonna say, and I had the exact same thought.
They showed that he did the theme song for The Undertaker, and they used the American Badass.
They did.
And is anyone thinking that we're not getting the Phenom coming back to face Cena, especially after certain comments was made by Mr. Cena as well?
Yeah, I think we might.
I mean, did Jim Johnson produce Taps?
I may think that had Taker not already been back in January as a hatless, gloveless dead man.
But was that not him? That whole thing that we didn't really understand what he said. Was that not him putting
saying goodbye?
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what he's doing.
God.
Maybe, but then, well, as you rightly say, we don't really understand what he said.
He said all of his victims can rest in peace, didn't he? Or what's that effect?
Yeah. What does that mean?
So, is he saying that character is dead? Is that the end of that chapter?
I thought he was.
Apparently. Maybe. I mean, that's one possibility to take that as.
I think it would be quite good to see him as the American Badass at least one more time.
Bradley's just put in the chat saying it's been translated to, "Where are my hat and gloves? I left them right here." I've had an update on like my kind of how I book it, because you remember me saying like the hat and gloves were going to be on the floor in like a promo or something, and he was going to come along and pick it up.
Right.
They could like have like the little girl thing from when they had the Kid Rock song, just saying he's here or something, and then you just get like the tire wheel spinning of the bike and drive off or something near it.
Or somebody takes like the hat and gloves or whatever.
Oh, he just drives past it as if he's like leaving that bit behind.
I was gonna say throw it into a fire, and then like as the flames are engulfed, then like he runs through with the motorcycle that he's on, and he just goes through the fire, and he's like, "I'm the American Badass again," or something.
He actually says that.
Or something
cool
included.
image, and then he goes, "I'm the American Badass."
I'm just going to say in that deadpan tone as well. The American Badass now.
Yeah.
Watch out, John.
They're going to say like the hat is there, and he just runs over the hat with the bike.
All right. Okay. Sure. All right.
Especially if Kane's around to start it.
Yeah. Because he'll be mayor at this point.
He will.
Yeah.
He's gonna win it.
I think that Smoot's right. I think that should happen with The Undertaker, but instead of saying I'm the American Badass now, he should come out and say I'm, what is it, Big Bugger or whatever it was.
Oh my God.
What was it? I can't remember.
Booger Red.
Bugger Red, that was it.
Big Evil.
Oh, there we go. Well, we're close.
Booger Red. Wow.
And then Cena could come out with a new T-shirt that's red and go, "No, I'm Bugger Red."
God.
Why does anyone have to be? And then the Boogeyman comes out.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And then Kane comes out.
The Boogie Red Machine. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So that's possibly going to happen. We're waiting for Undertaker to respond, I guess, which may happen this Monday, perhaps.
A lot seems to be happening this Monday on Raw.
Yeah.
It seems to be like the main, like what you would expect after the pay-per-view kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, they promised that Lesnar would be there.
Yeah, and he did
Which
show.
probably means he won't, because they're desperate to try and get people to boo him.
I
even
like
though
him more.
Vince guaranteed it.
I like him more with him not there. I guess I'm just enlightened and I don't understand what a bad guy is. But just makes him feel like a star, not having to show up to work.
Careful, Chucks. Careful, Chucks. I think. Oh, Jimmy's back on the screen again. He heard you talking shit again.
Oh, fuck's sake!
The opening bit with Roman Reigns, I kind of caught this a little bit late. I just saw Reigns getting mad with Angle, and he like shoved the microphone into him, and then he went backstage to confront Mr. McMahon in Gorilla, where a lot of people pointed out that Shane McMahon was also there.
Yeah.
I did like this though, because it was just something different.
Yeah. Vince threw it to commercial, pal, and when they came back, they both came from Vince's office, who has the same bland default name plaque on doors backstage as everybody else, which really, really upsets me. Reigns walks out first, looking dejected, and Vince apparently said that Lesnar does get special treatment, and Reigns gets a temporary suspension. So
he took that suspension like a man.
I guess, yeah.
I wanted to like the whole thing. Like I said, going into Gorilla like that was different, and I'm always good with different.
Yeah.
Who was that guy that randomly got in the way?
Shane McMahon.
No, you're
Oh yeah, before they went to break, when Vince was just like, because he was with a cable, weren't he? He was like, why don't you just take it off your fucking head?
He just like he like casually unplugged it too. It was great. He looked pissed.
My problem with it is Reigns saying that Lesnar is Vince's boy. When anyone who's watched Raw in the last 5 years knows that Reigns is Vince's boy.
Careful now.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. So, spewing enlightened rhetoric again. But it's true. And then getting suspended as if anyone believes that. I want to like the storyline, but it just feels a bit too forced, I guess.
I mean, it is a little bit forced, but at the same time, I mean, this is like one of the things that they're getting a positive response from Reigns from with the crowd, at least, because he's, they're trying to make him look like a badass, like I'm not a company guy, I'm here. Well, technically he is a company guy.
Obviously he is.
Yeah, but I'm all about the WWE title and the championship being defended and all this stuff. Which that's obviously going to get a crowd to cheer for, like they're hitting all the things that they should be hitting on, like the checklist of how to get a positive response from the crowd.
He also says bitch a lot.
Oh god.
Yeah, that profanity.
Well, there's
unnecessary
a few
profanity.
things,
very mild profanity.
There's a few things that's bothered me in it. There was the one instance where Reigns got really peed off with Heyman because the title was on the mat, and he told him to pick it up and show it some respect. Yeah, any championship that he's ever held, he's like held on his back instead of like over his shoulder and around his waist. So that was a bit strange. And also, the whole thing about Heyman like pointing out that Reigns like has to like sacrifice everything because what happens if your dad is ill and all that palaver that he said that time. Yet you can argue, well, what about Lesnar? He's not there.
Yeah.
Which I know is what they're trying to do to a degree. He's playing like I suppose it was just a heel promo. Like, what the hell are you doing?
He's circling the snacks.
Snacks, yeah. It looks like there's
some Kit Kats there.
No, that's like these two, like right here, I think are Special K bars. I think this might be like a Nutri-Grain of some kind.
Oh, it's healthy snacks.
Or Fig Newtons or something.
Protein bars. It's Vince.
I don't know. That honestly looks like a Special K. These two right here.
But the red ones look like Kit Kats to me.
I mean, you just don't get this kind of analysis on any other show.
That's right. That's right.
That looks like Sunny D bottles in the background. Oh no, it's It's a bigger bottle with something.
That might be
Spook, we didn't need the big bold arrow for the circle that you draw.
That might be like a protein shaker. But
They do like circle the guy getting in the way as well.
Oh yeah, this guy. This guy right here. This stooge right here who gets in the way.
I'm gonna say he actually looks like the Miz in that still.
It kind of does a little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
I want to know who he was.
Careful what you're doing with that arrow, you'll take his eye out.
Now, let's see, like all of a sudden you just get, he throws it to commercial. I'm like, come on. And this guy just gets in the way. And then Vince, he just unhooks the fucking headset. So, there we go.
Just take the headset off.
Yeah, just throw it on the fucking table. That's all you gotta do. Don't get in the way of your boss.
I'm just gonna say he's thinking Vincent in his head. He's like, one fucking shot. That's all you had to avoid.
But maybe to play devil's advocate, they wanted it to look chaotic and unplanned and not go very smoothly.
That was kind of weird because obviously they were expecting Reigns to go back there, so why wasn't he out the way?
If anything, if I had to criticize that segment, I think it was the fact that the camera just stormed with Reigns. I think they should have maybe just had like a hard cut to backstage where Reigns gets in Vince's face in Gorilla or something like that.
Whenever we follow someone back there, you always see them going through the curtain from the arena and then back out the other curtain.
Yeah.
You know?
Although there was Coach shouting, "Where's he going?" I think he's going, Coach.
See, that's how you make a segment believable. Just have Jonathan Coachman be a clueless stooge.
Where's he going?
I remember Coachman being so much better than this.
Yeah.
Really?
When he wasn't sexually harassing his coworkers allegedly.
Oh my god!
I said allegedly, alright?
That makes it alright.
Yeah. You can say anything you want, as long as you put allegedly after it.
Uh-huh.
I'll remember that in the next prediction game.
You got it. There was, like I said, John Cena and The Undertaker calling him out. The other highlight, the Woken Matt Hardy stuff happened, where he challenged Bray Wyatt to the Ultimate Deletion match next week, or this upcoming Monday.
Mm-hmm. Finally, it's happening.
It's about goddamn time. We kind of limped our way to this, but it's finally happening.
I don't know why they didn't just do it at WrestleMania at this point.
I was just going to say, they've obviously got some sort of plan for WrestleMania if they're doing this now and have to get it out of the way.
I don't think
this would have worked at Mania.
Yeah,
it's on screen, isn't it? So.
Yeah. And showing a match on like a ridiculous Tron from like the nosebleeds isn't going to make people happy. I think if this was a match that happens at WrestleMania, you have to do it in the arena.
Yeah.
Or stadium.
Yeah, but how much of WrestleMania is like backstage stuff that people
not much
just cheer and laugh at?
Not much.
Yeah, not loads. There's a lot of video packages in there, but not not important stuff.
Let's get as many segments there.
To be honest, if you had like a 15-match card and one of these was a 10-minute video, I wouldn't care.
And if it was full of stuff that people wanted to see, loads of little cameos and whatever, could be fun. Yeah. Also, again, they're going to do like a little musical interlude with Kid Rock or something.
Yeah.
No one wants to see that. So why not just do an interlude at the Hardy compound?
Should get Jim Johnston to do a musical interlude.
And if not this at WrestleMania, then what? Because I don't want to see just another match between the two of them with some like locusts on the mat and stuff.
Wasn't there some rumors going around that they're actually going to be like tag team partners after this?
Oh jeez.
Well, you can throw him into like that lake, and then he'll be Husky Harris again, won't he?
Yeah.
Do you really want fans? Do you really want fans to be chanting at Bray Wyatt, Husky Harris?
Well, at least to be chanting for him.
Oh God! What was it? To fight that argument, Reigns gets the loudest reactions. That means he's doing something right. No, it doesn't. Not in 2018, it doesn't, because Vince isn't going to go with the flow and turn him.
Jokes, put your phone down.
Put the gun down.
The army tank with the Ferrari engine.
There we go.
I've said many times it wouldn't go anywhere. It's too heavy.
Maybe that will be what happens. Maybe they'll have that at the compound.
What, an army tank? On the Ferrari?
Yeah. And he could be like standing on top of it, like shouting,
Rusev.
"Why isn't it going anywhere?" Yeah.
And on the last part of Raw, it was a tag team battle royal match where Braun Strowman won the whole damn thing by himself.
Mm.
And then the announcer sounded hokey, and Michael Cole's like, "I'm sure Kurt Angle won't allow this to stand."
So everyone in the tag division is a joke.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, except for the Bar, because they didn't compete, and they're the champions.
Yeah, and even they
until
lost
they lose the tag
many
titles
times. That's worldwide.
at WrestleMania to Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So, which comedy geek is going to be Strowman's partner?
No one.
Is it going to be James Ellsworth?
I hope
I
so.
don't think he's going to get one.
Honestly, I want it to be Alexa Bliss for the Mixed
Make a
Match
mistake
Challenge. Yeah. Have them win
No,
the
I-
tag titles.
I don't think they're going to give him one.
I don't think they are either.
And I think I'd like to see him win, just for a laugh.
Who?
Strowman?
Oh yeah. I thought you were saying there's somebody you'd like to see him with.
No, sorry. I'd like to see him win the belt. Just
Oh yeah, just I am the
Yeah.
tag team champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably will.
Pull that off. And the other thing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, going back to the Cena thing as well. How many times have we actually had in a promo where someone's been able to say the stuff that Cena said about Taker?
He's an old man. Ego.
Want to be posting workout videos on your wife's Instagram?
Oh, he said wife.
Did either of Chuck or Boots see him on Good Morning Britain?
No.
No, because I don't live in Britain.
Oh, it says Smooth. Sorry, I meant Beans. Sorry.
I was just going to say, hang on a minute.
Yeah, Chuck Beans. He was on Good Morning Britain on Wednesday morning.
Who? The Undertaker?
No, Cena. You two. And he pretty much said the same thing about how he thinks Taker's too old, or Taker thinks he's too old, and pretty much said the same thing. So it looks like it will be happening.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Sorry, Smoot, I cut you off before.
No, it's all right. I was going to mention the other thing from Raw was the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal, which
Yeah, now something's happened with this, you said, but
Yes.
I don't know what's...
yeah, a lot of outcry when this was announced. Me personally, I mean, this is just my own personal standpoint. I don't think every single match needs to have like a female counterpart to it. Honestly, and I know this is kind of like a slippery slope or whatever, but I just
You would say that. You're such a man.
How about this? I don't
Trying
feel
to
like
hold them down, man.
no, it's not that. It's that
Misogynist.
you shouldn't have a female counterpart just for the sake of trying to promote yourself over as like this gender friendly company when you've had a past of, you know, not being as nice to the women. Okay,
Thing is, though, they've got to now, because
they got it. Yeah, that's the thing.
they've dug themselves a hole that's
Yeah.
making everything equal. That if they didn't, everyone would be all over them saying, "Well, why haven't you done that?"
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well, and-
they got themselves in a corner. Is correct. Yeah, I do agree with that. It's just I don't know if they. I mean, they did a women Royal Rumble. is it going to be enough to be worth having it again? Essentially, for I guess it was a statue of the great fabulous Moolah that was so revered, apparently, according to WWE history. But apparently, that's not the case.
That was going to be a gold bar of Snickers.
Yes, yes. I hope so. So apparently, this got renamed because Snickers didn't like the negative outcry from people because Moolah was, apparently
a horrible person.
A horrible person, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How does Snickers know if she's a horrible person?
Well,
There's
wrestling fans do.
out there.
Yeah, wrestling fans do. And when it was announced, a lot of people went, "You might want to not do that. That doesn't seem like the kind of person you want to be promoting."
Yeah.
If I missed something, what did Moolah
women's
do?
empowerment.
She's accused of all kinds. She's...
Oh, God. She... Let me get into all of this. There's a lot of things. You can look it up and it'll be bad. She was a major figure in women's wrestling back in the day. Kind of as a promoter and whatever. And she mistreated the people under her. She took a lot of their money from their bookings, controlled them a lot, sent them out to do some very questionable things.
This is from Wrestling News Source. It previously reported that former Moolah trainees had come forth with accusations of taking money from women as well as pimping them out for sex work.
Yeah.
These accusations were echoed by former trainer Mad Maxine.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to avoid saying, but there you go.
Well, yeah, but that was a quote. So.
That's the accusations.
Apparently, they're just calling it the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal now, not associating it with any horrible person from the past.
Well, so they have named the men's one after Andre the Giant because Andre the Giant was so dominant in battle royals. So the only woman I can think of who would be equivalent in WrestleMania battle royals would be Santina Marella.
Oh my God!
Name after
her. So apparently, Snickers has some stroke into just making WWE change match names around.
They have some thoughts.
According to Wikipedia here, and this is cited by CBS Sports, saying that Snickers, the primary sponsor of WrestleMania 34, released a statement in which they called the decision to honor Moolah, quote, unacceptable, and that they were engaging with the WWE to express our disappointment. On March 15th, WWE announced that they were dropping Moolah's name from the Battle Royal and that they would just proceed with the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal as the title. So that is that. And pretty much, and WWE kind of just shot themselves in the foot because all the female talent on Twitter when this was announced was being like, "Oh, I'm proud to be part of the Moolah Battle Royal. This is straight fire." It was tacky. Yeah, it was not great, to say the least.
The restatement says, after further consideration, we believe it is best to proceed with the name WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. What remains most important is that this historic match is part of WWE's unwavering commitment to the women's division.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. Battle Royals are always good. And speaking of Moolah, Miss Money in the Bank. See, Moolah, money, yeah. Carmella is the first entrant announced.
She even did that on SmackDown Live. Made that comparison.
Oh, did she? Oh, damn it. I missed that.
Again, just absolutely tacky. That's just not going to look well in history.
No.
What else?
We also have... we're narrowing down the Cruiserweight title match. We know Cedric Alexander is going to be there. Either Drew Gulak or Mustafa Ali challenging.
Yeah.
Wiki, I don't know where this came from, but Wiki says Orton and Rude have a US title rematch.
From SmackDown, yes.
That was actually set, was it?
I believe so, yeah.
Because the website doesn't have a thing, so I'm pretty sure that means that Jinder's going to be thrown in there to make it a three-way. We have Owens and Zayn announced. I don't know what's going to happen with Shane there.
Yeah, I mean, was anyone else like disturbed by Shane's level of?
It's ooh, ooh.
He sounded like he needed more fiber. Right.
I don't know. I thought you were gonna die.
Yeah, no, I was a bit uncomfortable to watch that. I didn't like that.
It was a bit strange. It was definitely one of the things that you're thinking, please God, don't let someone who's never seen wrestling before walk through the door right now. Or some guy's on the floor, bright red faced, and it's zoomed in on his face as he's going. "Ooh, ooh."
God. Yeah,
So we have 10 matches then, plus there's going to be Cena, Undertaker, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Andre the Giant, Battle Royal, Usai's New Day, Bludgeon Brothers, probably Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, whatever they end up doing. It's a huge card.
I know this is really like obvious, and it's a bit of a stupid thing to ask. But following on from Sami Zayn's and Kevin Owens' attack on Shane, is this leading to Daniel Bryan?
It's possible. I don't know. Shane did say he was stepping down for like an unknown period of time, basically taking a sabbatical.
If this wasn't Daniel Bryan and it was someone else, you would be sitting there thinking, well, he's just made this match between the two. They don't want it. They beat up the guy who says he's just going to leave. So now the other guy is going to come back to get Shane to say, don't leave. I'll team with you.
Yeah, possibly.
Also,
It all depends if Daniel Bryan's got any more family functions planned.
Oh, yeah.
It's been around for a while. I was thinking they could have
a family function on the day that his show happens. It's a bit...
Yeah. Also, the state of Shane's face.
Oh, for fuck's sake, he's drawing on his face again.
Here. You're gonna... Hold on. There you go. Have a square. How about that?
A square.
You could just have put the picture up and just said, look at his face, mate.
Yeah, look at his face. That's what he did.
It's like pretty much the main thing in the picture.
Yeah.
Just zoom in on it.
That bit's like, that was like okay. It was the bit backstage that was extremely worrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit like Angle's face when he got punched by the
Yeah,
It
and
looks
also
like...
that's Angle's shape of his legs when he's standing up straight as well.
God.
I was hoping they would have this feud go on, the Yep movement finally get back together. They're going to be bros again. Shane McMahon says, I don't know, something. He doesn't like them, whatever. Daniel Bryan comes back and says, I've got some good news, and we can settle this the right way. And hands Shane, the big old envelope, pulls it out. Oh, it's my clearance. We can now do a tag match at WrestleMania with these guys, a united front, and us. I'm going to stand by you, and we're going to run SmackDown as it should be run. Going to prove that I'm not in league with these guys. Go to WrestleMania, tag match. Daniel Bryan is in, lies down for the guys. Oh, what the hell? Turns out, and then they do the big old beat down on Shane. That'd be cool.
I was going to say, someone else put something on Twitter that I saw where they said, can you imagine that everyone loses their mind when they announce Daniel Bryan's going to come back for a match, only for him to stand on the apron and not get tagged in?
I think people would be okay with that at this point.
What?
Somewhat. As long as he's just in the match itself, just that he's there.
Oh, God, no. People will go loopy if he doesn't do something.
I like Chuck's idea of him laying down on the mat, but the only problem is it would continue the feud even more with those guys versus Shane.
Well, they could make the beatdown a pretty bad one. Have write Shane out for a month or two.
I think WrestleMania is
Then
supposed to be. It's supposed to be
Brian run the show.
It's supposed to be the end all be all to feuds typically.
It's not been though for ages.
Really?
There's so many. There's so many that just carry on, and it's like the start and stuff now. It really irritates me.
Yeah.
It's always been like that to a degree.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels more prevalent now. Bradley's had to go, so he said good night and asked for everyone not to get into a Twitter argument.
Thank you, Bradley, for tuning in, buddy. We're about to
put enough fans to sleep.
Yeah, we're about to get out of here as well because we've been going on for like 90 minutes now.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Half of that was ranting about bloody Jimmy Cordero.
Yeah.
What was that, Beans? What was that, Beans? What? What?
Whoa!
Oh, he's back on the screen again, Chucks. Look what you did. Look what you did. Too much
if Jimmy ever watches this show, I'm leaving.
Anyway, not much else happened.
Before we go, there was a little bit of
of
news today of don't you remember about this guy who supposedly sold Reigns drugs?
Oh yeah.
He released his much anticipated evidence today. It turns out there's nothing incriminating Roman Reigns whatsoever.
What about Luther Reigns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't looked this up enough, but I'm pretty sure he said it's the guy. The guy's called Johnny Bravo. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And he's reporting about Richard Rodriguez, which just makes me think a cartoon character is representing Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah.
What the hell? Weird. And he said that there's nothing about Reigns in this thing, but there is a lot of evidence about Reigns. And he just doesn't want to put it out before it's all been researched and compiled, or whatever the reasoning is. But he says there is something about Roman Reigns in there.
You wait till the Raw the night after WrestleMania when he's just become champion to release it, won't
he? That's when he's going to be needed on SmackDown too, right? According to Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we get out of here?
I can't think of any other news.
SmackDown was okay. I really liked the tag match between Jimmy Uso and Big E versus the Bludgeon Brothers, which I think is the kind of tag match that I think is going to be replicated on Raw in some capacity. I think that's where the Hardy and Wyatt thing may happen.
I didn't mind what they did. Well, I can't remember if it was on SmackDown or Fastlane, but I didn't like it that when Luke Harper dropped the hammer, it bounced.
It could just be like a rubber, sledgehammers are kind of made of rubber, right?
Yeah, but it bounced about. It got dropped from about 3 feet and dropped a good nearly 2 feet back up into the air.
Okay, well, it's made of whatever RVD is made of then.
Jesus. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. SmackDown was okay up until the end, and that's where it got really exciting because they took out Shane McMahon. I'm interested to see where it goes from here. And also, Owens and Zayn were beating up officials, so that's got to be a fine. And tune in next week, where I think we'll discuss more if Chucks and Will get into more Twitter trouble. A little bit. We'll see if Jimmy Corderas happens to tune into this. Probably won't. I know I probably would go 99.99% that he will not listen to this.
Is that your official prediction?
Yes. If this was counting towards the prediction game, I would probably get a point. And we're also gonna check. We're gonna check the footage on that after the show here. Let's see if what was said specifically, and check to see if Beans gets that point or not. I don't think he does. I'm certain he does not, but we'll check for you. So tune in next week for that, and we'll recap everything else in between, Raw, SmackDown Live, and all that other good stuff. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you then. And also follow us on Twitter at the IWC Radio, and YouTube here, and iTunes and all that. 5 stars, like, whatever. Take care. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Bye.